Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome back to the podcast. I have a question for you. If you could design your dream week based on how you want to show up in this world for yourself, for your friends, your family, professionally, what would that look like? I used AI to come up with my dream schedule based on my human design type. And I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who's constantly refining, whether it's my business, my finances, or most often my schedule. So we're just coming off of summer. And just when I got that schedule down pat, it's time to pivot and move into fall and the start of the school year. So I'm constantly looking at my schedule to find out where I can fit certain things in and how I can best optimize my day. So I came across this concept on Instagram. The creator is We Girl, and she had used AI or ChatGPT to develop her dream schedule based on her energetics or human design. So if you're new to human design basically shows you what your purpose is, what you were put on this earth to do, and the energy in which you work. So for example, I'm a manifestor, and I was put here on this earth to ignite the flame, to create the spark, to be creative, to set things into motion. And the way I work best is in short bursts of high energy, followed by periods of rest. And when I found out my human design type and a deep dive into what that means for me in how I show up career-wise, the way in which I work, it was me to a T. It was so scary. If you want to figure out your human design type, there are 5. You can just go to Google and ask the question, what's my human design type? And a bunch of websites will pull up, and you basically just need your exact time of birth, your place of birth, your name, and it'll pull a chart for you to let you know which of the 5 human design types you are. After you've done that, come back to this podcast, because in March of 2022, I had Liz Coyles on the podcast. She's a human design reader, and she does a deep dive on all of the types, what they were put on this earth to do, how best they work, how best they communicate with others. It's super, super interesting. So I am going to share with you the exact prompts I used in ChatGPT to develop my dream schedule based on my human design type. But before we get to that, I want to share with you this week's quick shift. This week's quick shift is authenticity is your superpower. I had this realization when I was getting ready. I was putting on my makeup. I was going on the Carrie Croft podcast. And all of a sudden, I started feeling panic. I was in full-blown anxiety attack mode, and I didn't really know where it came from. I host these podcasts all the time. I'm forward-facing, but for some reason, I have this feeling of uncertainty bubbling up inside. I was just super, super nervous. And I was like, okay, I need to take a beat here. And I just sat on my bed to calm and center myself and do a mini meditation. And something that just kept popping up is authenticity is your superpower. And it just came to me, and I felt this level of peace wash over me. And it was a good reminder that when you show up in the world, whether it be at the coffee shop, in the interaction you have with the barista, at your girls' dinner, at your business meeting, or on a podcast, when you show up and you are aligned and you are your true authentic self, operating from your heart and not worrying about what other people think of you, you can't lose, because you become magnetic and you attract what you give out, and you receive that back from others around you. And it was just like this calming moment and feeling that washed over me, like, hey, you have power over this. You have control of this. Just go there, be yourself, as cliche as it sounds, answer the questions as if you were talking to your best friend, and try not to think of what the expected answer is or what people might want to hear, because your message is going to reach the right person who needs to hear it. And like I said, this doesn't have to be on a grand scale. You don't have to be forward facing, going on a TV show or a podcast. Just in your everyday life, trying to align with the true self and projecting that out into the world is your superpower. All right, so let's get into it. I'm going to share with you the exact prompts and what my friend the robot gave back to me. And then I actually implemented the schedule last week, and I'll let you know the highs and some of the lows within that schedule and what happened. I also want to mention that I am going to list out all of these prompts in my Substack. It's a weekly newsletter that goes out on Sunday. It's just rituel.substack.com, and it'll be easier for you to just copy and paste these prompts over, tailor a little bit of things to you, and see how this goes for you. So the first prompt is, I'm a mom and owner of a digital marketing agency, and I want you to create the perfect weekly schedule for me based on my human design type, which is a manifestor. I am also going to upload my human design chart for you to analyze. So I got back a very generalized answer, which I'm going to share with you now. And then I will also share the follow-up prompts that I use to take this a step further and further to refine my schedule and make it really tailored to me. So applying this to my schedule, basically mornings should be started with personal time for meditation and journaling. So right there, I was like, bullseye, you know me, robot. So this is really my time to just tap into my emotional clarity and align with myself. Then it suggested that I focus the rest of my mornings on creativity, initiating tasks, again, being that spark, and using this time to start new projects. ChatGPT suggested that I leave my afternoons for meetings and collaborative activities to really just inform and engage with my team effectively. And then the other suggestion was to leave evenings solely for family time, no work time, and to have self-care and activities to help me wind down, because my type works best in high bursts of creative energy followed by restful periods. So to take this a step further, I then gave it a list of goals, and you can list out as many as you'd like. Honestly, the more specific, the better. I'll just share with you a couple here to give you some inspiration. But some of my goals I shared were, I'd like to work 30 to 40 hours a week with Fridays off. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I want to be in the office with my team from 9 to 3. I included pickup times for my children. Like there's certain days where I have to pick them up from school. So those would be time blocked in the schedule. And then I included all of my workouts or my ideal workout times or workout classes I wanted to attend. And then I included some aloof things like allow time in my schedule to meet with friends or other creatives at least 2 to 3 times per month. So once I listed out my goals, I then added the prompt, now that you have an understanding of my human design chart, including my talents, gifts, and energetics, plus my business and lifestyle goals, provide an updated calendar that will best optimize my life. So ChatGPT sent back a schedule breakdown, which is a day-to-day walkthrough. Basically, it's broken down into hours. So 6 to 7 a.m., you're doing this. 7 to 8, you're doing this. So you'll get a full breakdown, which is really cool. And I'll just go through a day or two of my life that ChatGPT is scheduled for me to give you an idea of what might be produced for you. So Mondays from 6 to 7 are my personal time where I should be journaling, doing meditation, and maybe some emails. 7 to 9 is basically family time. I'm with the kids, getting them breakfast, ready for school, having intentional time together, and doing drop off. On Mondays specifically, I hard-coded that I want to do Pilates from 9:30 to 10:30. And Monday is not an office day for me where I'm working with a team. So after Pilates is when I will have my head down work, or I'm working in my business or on things for clients alone, ideally without distraction. And then there's time in here for when I need to pick my daughter from school and spend the afternoon with her doing lunch before her nap. During nap, I'm back into head down work before it's time to pick up my son from school. And from 3:30 on, I'm a mom. I'm spending time with the kids. We're doing homework, dinner together, sports activities. And then the biggest change is in the evenings is my wind down time. I'm, meant to be doing self-care, taking baths, face masks, watching a show with my husband, and really not getting on my computer. So like I said before, my energetic type really prioritizes these short bursts of energy followed by rest. And I was not giving myself the restful time to recharge and be my creative best. So Tuesday, the morning looks pretty similar. But after drop off, I'm not doing a workout class and instead I'm heading to the office. And one of the biggest changes here was I would usually meet my team at 9 a.m. there right after drop off. But I've decided to meet them at 10 so that I have an hour to myself to like ChatGPT recommended, ignite the new projects I want to kick off or be creative and not really necessarily have to expend my energy with other people quite yet. So then my team arrives and we're in focused work meetings most of the day. And on Tuesday, Thursdays, I've actually built in, those are my cardio days and I built that in at the end of my day. I used to try to wake up early and cram in a workout, and those are like my hot, sweaty days. And I would also need to shower while trying to get the kids ready. I found there was no time for solitude in the morning, and it just felt like a cluster. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get up, enjoy my morning, get ready, do my hair and makeup. And then at the end of the day, I can wash it all off, get as sweaty as I want to, and it's just done. Another thing you can do is you can also take screenshots of your calendar and say, okay, now that you've provided me this schedule, here are some screenshots of my upcoming calendar. Where do you see that I need to make modifications? Where are there areas of improvement? Any holes to fill? And you can get some suggestions. So for example, Tuesday, Thursdays, I said I wanted to be my office days. Well, I had a lot of client shoots planned on those days. And now I know going forward that I just need to set boundaries and I need to kind of say like, okay, unless a client really, really needs me there on those specific days, I'm going to try to not book anything like that on Tuesday, Thursdays. Another prompt was, based on the schedule, I need to have time for a ritual. I need time to record podcasts. I need time to pitch guests, edit, and write my Substack. I am having the most amazing time on Substack. It's ritual.substack.com. It feels like when I launched my blog back in 2008, it's super intimate. And like I said, I will have all these prompts listed out for you on Sunday. So definitely join if you haven't. It's my little love letter to you. It feels very intimate and personal, and you can comment on there, and it's very community driven. So please join me and get these prompts. I put it into practice last week, and here's how it went. Basically, the days that I was able to get up at 6 and have that alone time to myself, I felt amazing. I felt like I was very much in the flow, but it's very hard for me to get up and be a morning person. Everything I know about success is that you need to wake up and have time to fill your cup up before you attune to other people's needs or emails or other people's energy on social media. And every time I do it, I'm a happier person. I'm just not a morning person, but I'm working very hard on changing that. So I did not wake up every single day like I was supposed to at 6 a.m. I talked about having like hard things coded in my schedule. And one of those is I've committed to taking a yoga sculpt class. It's in a heated room. It's yoga and weights, and all of my neighbors and friends do it. So it's something we do together. I truly enjoy it, but I have to get up at 5:30. And I did not wake up on that day because I am such a hard sleeper, you guys. I did not hear my alarm. And I slept on the guest room because my husband is a very light sleeper and can't go back to bed after he's waken up like that. So I didn't want to like disturb his peace. And long story short, he wasn't there to be like, hey girl, turn off your alarm, get up, go work out. And I missed it. Was really sad about that. So that was not so much of a success. The other thing I need to be better about is time blocking. I just find myself not able to stay on task. So if I'm deciding to do emails, I'll do a couple, and the next thing you know, I pick up my phone and I'm scrolling to check something on Instagram, or I'm answering a text. And I need to be better about like focused, head down work and having tunnel vision on the task at hand. Everything else pretty much went well. One other thing that I need to work on is not opening my computer and working at night. It's really difficult for me because I absolutely love my job. I love what I do. I love my clients, and I'm constantly trying to better myself and learn. So it doesn't feel like work to me, but I know that I need that time. I need that rest period to shut off my brain and recharge. Another follow-up prompt I did was I asked ChatGPT, what are some things I can buy or some habits and routines I can do to set myself up for success based on the schedule? And a couple of suggestions were the Hatch alarm clock. So I purchased that, and I'm going to try to use that to wake up a little bit more peacefully and mindfully. Although I don't have high hopes, because if I didn't hear a blaring iPhone alarm, I'm not sure I'm going to wake up to the sounds of birds chirping or a bright light in my face. The other suggestion was a time cube timer. So this is a tool to help you focus on tasks. It's called the Pomodoro technique. There's actually one that's like a little tomato, and you twist it to say 30 minutes. These 30 minutes on this timer are set for me to work solely on emails, and that's all I'm going to do. And then when the timer goes off, I can take a break or I can check my phone. So I did buy a time cube timer. The other suggestions were to buy books for the nighttime, so I'm not tempted to scroll. So I loaded up 5 new books on my Kindle. I absolutely love to read, and I just kind of habit stacked that with my Epsom salt bath. I'm not bringing my phone into the bathroom anymore, and I'm just reading my new books. I love to read and get ideas and creativity and inspiration. So I had a really nice week last week on the days where I just prioritized reading and learning in that format versus on my computer or endlessly scrolling on social media. Another one of those goals I gave ChatGPT that I didn't mention before was that I really need to prioritize time to eat. I know that sounds ridiculous, but a lot of times I'm just busy in the mornings. I'm off to the races and I haven't eaten breakfast. I didn't pack anything for lunch if it's an office day. So I bought these really cute glass containers that I'm going to try to meal prep lunch for office days and also overnight oats for office days, because it's hard for me to make a smoothie before I get the kids off to school. So like humans, robots like ChatGPT are not perfect, but I felt like it did a really good job of creating a schedule for me that aligned my personal and professional goals with my human design and energetics and the way I want to show up in the world. The days I followed the schedule to a T felt very in the flow, very in sync, very aligned with who I am and who I want to be. So I'm really excited to just put this schedule into practice over the coming weeks and continue to refine it so that it works best for me. So I'm really excited for you guys to give this a try on your own based on your personal goals and your human design. If you do try it, please come back and give me your feedback. Let me know how it went for you. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Erika Karl _, or as I mentioned before, come join me on Substack. It's a really great positive space. It's ritual.substack.com. I'll have all the prompts there for you in the latest newsletter on Sunday. You can leave me a comment there as well to let me know how it went for you. And that's it for today. We will connect next week, and please subscribe, share this episode with a friend who you think would really resonate with it, and we'll catch you next time.